should we do next? I think I don't like it, but I have to go in that corner. This is what I'm talking about this repair here and this repair here. So of course I can't cut them from here at all. I can't squeeze any tool here. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go inside the trunk. I have to move the car a little bit, but holy crap, it's not that easy even from here. And I'm gonna have to cut like this and like this, like it's gonna be tricky. And when I cut out a piece here, then I can repair this hole, because behind this there is a hole. So that was a challenge. It was a big challenge actually, but with multiple tools, with a lot of swearing, I managed to cut all the rust out, and now it's more clear what we have to do. Actually, I'm gonna go and show you inside. So if you look at the inside, there's one piece that we need to replace here to fix, that's the inner valance, right? And it has a little step here which goes to 0 on the other side. We're gonna have to make that step. Then after that, the side goes all the way down and ends there, like this is where it ends. And then there's a piece of floor that goes in and has a flange that overlaps. Yeah. So once this is replaced, you see here, you can see the step clearly. So once this is fixed, then we're gonna have to finish the floor with this flange here, you see? It's gonna go all the way. It's gonna step on top right here. And this is where it's gonna end. And then another piece for the wall here with a flange up to continue this flange all the way down, and inside it's going to be tucked inside the flange, because like we said, there's going to be a floor coming this way and a flange in, like this flange. So now it is more clear what we have to do, and I'm not so worried. Before that it was like a little bit complicated. I didn't understand how exactly the parts worked together, but now I'm clear. Many times people comment on the comment section, they say, oh, you make it look so easy. Well guys, believe me, whatever you do, if you put your hands on it, always you figure out that it is much easier than what you thought before that, because you don't really understand how it works. But once you start it, it's much easier. At least that's how it works with me. Anyways, so I'm gonna start making that patch now for the rear valance. Actually, first I'm gonna put some rust converter here because it's really hard to grind there. Well, actually I might try to grind a little bit, get rid of whatever rust is there, and then I'm gonna put some rust converter for the rest, and I'm gonna start making that patch. So this is how my patch will start. I drew a line here where the step is gonna be. And like we said, this step needs to be big in this end over there, but here it comes back to 0. So let's see if we can do that on the bead roller. Alright, I don't know if you see well from there. I think that's pretty much okay position for you to see. Because I figured from the other side you can't see anything. So, I don't know. Okay, so this is where we're gonna start, and this is where we need the bigger step. This is where we need 0. So I'm gonna run just one to start with, all the way. Very shallow. And now I'm gonna start making it deeper and deeper, and making shorter and shorter passes here. These dies, I made extensions for whatever reason, I don't remember, and now it's sliding out, but that's fine. Something like that. Let me see if we should keep going. Yeah, it's much deeper on that end. That looks more like it. Okay, maybe just a little bit deeper. Okay. That's where we're gonna leave it. I'm gonna play a little bit with the hammer now. Alright, so now we should be able to mark it. I can see more or less where it needs to end here. Have to be careful not to drop it inside, eh? I'm using a magnet here. Yes, it was hard to weld it, but you know what? It's gonna be even harder to grind it now. Let's see how we can do that. It was really hard, I'm telling you, and I burnt a hole there because of the angle of my torch. I couldn't like position it the way I wanted it, and I burnt a hole, so I had to fill this up, and now there's a lot of metal there for grinding. So anyways, let's try and do that. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Alright, don't ask. Don't even ask how I did that. I think I even used my teeth and my fingernails and everything to grind this smooth, especially there in the corner, because that's where the flange is gonna go. So it needs to be perfect, but I think we did it. Anyway, so let's see what's the next part here. I can't figure out yet, I have to think about it, whether I should build this patch first or this corner first, because of this. I don't know if I'm gonna be able. Yeah, let's rebuild the sidewall first, and then we're gonna do the bottom, and we're gonna figure out how to do the bottom. If we can put the corner there, we're gonna just cut this off and weld it again, or just bend it and weld and straighten it after. We'll see. All right, so I made this patch that fits something like that. We're gonna have to push in a little bit there. Can't do it one-handed here, but it is something like that. So I painted it at the back, and I'm gonna let it dry. And in the meantime, I might prepare this other part for here. All right, I tucked it in place. I'm gonna go ahead and weld it now, and we'll see how we're gonna grind it. I'm probably gonna be blamed again for having two big gaps and filling them up with weld. That's not what professional restorers do, but hey, I never claimed to be one. I mean, I always said that's my hobby, and what I do is not necessarily the right way or the only way, but that's my way. So don't blame me for doing things that are not professional. Okay, it's welded, so let's see now how we're gonna grind it. Well, this is the best I can do. Can't do better than that, I'm sorry. It is so hard to put a tool there inside. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. Now, there's one more piece that I have to install from here to here. I have to get rid of this bolt too. So another piece from here to here I have to install on this panel, but that's gonna be, I'm gonna do it later from inside. It's gonna be easier. So now I have to make this flange, this corner piece that goes here, and I'm gonna weld that, and hopefully then we can move on to something else, because this repair is already frustrating me. So I made this angle piece, and I was able to shove it from this side. I actually hammered it in, and now I don't know how I'm gonna take it out. But I was able to mark, you see here I had a step. Now here it is more or less where it is. Well, I have to cut a little bit lower or grind this piece lower, but maybe I'm just gonna cut right here under right now. I'm gonna shorten it here a little bit because I can almost see the end here of this flange, and I have to cut around this. It's gonna be easier than cutting this piece here to make a straight line, so it's better to cut around this. I need to grind a little bit more here so I can push it more down. I need to make holes for plug welds here, and then we're gonna be ready to weld it. Okay, I painted a little bit there. This is trimmed down a little bit, and this piece is cut out here. I made holes for plug welds, but I made only for this area here, because here behind I'm not gonna be able to plug weld it, so that's gonna be from the inside when I make this additional piece. So yeah, I'm gonna try to clean up here those edges a little bit for welding, and we're gonna weld it. I welded it as much as I could all the way to there, and that little square I'm gonna weld from inside. I can't reach from here. Did the plug welds, and now I think we're done on the outside by welding it. I mean, now I just have to grind it, and then I think I'm gonna weld this one when I flip the car, so it is easier when it's at the bottom, because there's also two more patches here. I started cutting them, I couldn't even cut them out, this one and that one. I started cutting them from inside, and I just gave up. When the car is flipped the other way around and they are down there like these ones, I'm gonna cut them. Okay, I ground it down as much as I could. I can't reach any further than that, so that's how it's gonna stay. And now, before we flip it to the other side, I'm gonna look around and see what else I can do here, because I'm sure there's more things that I can do before I flip it, like this repair, for example. Remember, This is the other side of the valves that I patched a long time ago and I didn't finish. So now I can finish welding it here. Yeah, I can weld these holes shut because you remember this is there was a weird aftermarket exhaust hanger here. I don't know where the original one is. Actually, the original one is on the frame, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to weld these shut, and down there we're gonna deal when we flip it around. Here, I think we are mostly done. There are more holes to be filled up there. I need to. Here we are done with this side. We're done with this. I can do some grinding here. I think here I still need to grind, and down there it's gonna be easier to grind now. And here, and yeah, in general we're almost done with this side, but still. Oh yeah, I forget this thing. All these plug welds here, they need to be welded and ground down. And also in these big holes here, these are the drain holes, but now if you've watched my old videos about this car, I put a strengthener piece inside the seal, and now I have to drill through that piece too, so whatever is on the other half of the seal, like water, can drain. Oh yeah, and we have to put the body mounts after that. Here and there, these two we can weld now after we're done with these holes, and then these we're gonna do when we flip the car to the other side. Right, so all these plug welds are done and the holes for the drain are drilled, so now we can start doing the body mounts. But there's a slight problem here with the body mounts, and the problem is as you can see here, the problem is that I have 3 holes on this one, but I have 4 holes there, and here I have the opposite. I have 4 holes on the body mount and 3 holes there. Just kidding you, that's not the problem. The problem is that now, when I line up the body mount with the hose here, with the floor, I have a big gap here, which means my floor drop is not 90 degrees with the floor, so I'm able to rock this around. And the same here, I have the same issue. So I know for a fact that the floors where they are perfect because the car was on the frame. I had all the fenders, all the doors, everything, the gaps were okay. So I'm not gonna play with the floors. I know that everything was perfect, was matching outside, so even though this is not correct to me, doesn't look right, I'm not gonna change anything because I don't want to start messing around with gaps again and everything. I know that the body as it is looks great on the outside, so now I have to do something here to fix this issue. So the easiest way to fix that is, unfortunately, to cut those brand new, what are they, part number 616004, which makes me believe this is the most motor part. But anyways, I'm gonna have to modify it so it fits well. So of course it's not too hard, it's just a new part and I'm gonna have to modify it. So it is a little issue that only you and me know, but nobody else, so it's a secret. Can we keep it a secret, please? Anyway, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a cut here like that, and I'm gonna open it a little bit, and then I'm gonna weld it, and the same there, and that's how we're gonna solve this problem. Holy crap, that's a lot. Okay, now we have to weld this. So I'm gonna tack it here and here. And here I think I'm gonna fill this gap with weld. That's not a problem. Again. Okay, still good. So I tapped it here and here. And you know what? Just for the hell of it, can I not do this and fill it up? Of course I can. Alright, so we extended it without using any inserts, and apparently that's a big sin. Well, I'm a sinner, I'm sorry. So I think it looks great. Some of you may say that now this is a weak spot, but how weak is a structure? It's as weak as its weakest point, right? And I think that this weld here is gonna stay much longer after this metal here is long gone, and the floor too. So I don't think that's a big deal, and I believe it's as strong as it would be if we added another piece of metal there. So now we're gonna paint the back, and actually before that we're gonna have to drill holes here on these flanges, so we can do plug welds, which apparently is another deadly sin. So this is primed or primered. I have no idea what's right, what's wrong. Primed or primered, whatever you want to call it. And now we're gonna do the same here. We're gonna have to make cuts and make it work. Well, we know the drill already.